Hi guys, welcome to this overview video of the Intermediate Excel course. Over the next few minutes I'm going to explain what is going to be covered on the Intermediate Excel course, starting with this first sheet, names. What you're going to do on this part of the course is learn how to use named cells and named ranges. So named cells, basically click up there and type VAT, name that cell, use create from selection to name the columns, create from selection, name the columns, and then use those formulas in this table. So duration times cost, check the formula, click the tick as always, double click the formula down. So with names you can type your formulas in English and people can understand what each formula is going to do. Double click that down and then add them up. Subtotal plus VAT amount, double click, tick, pull it down. That's a quick overview of names. Next one is conditional formatting. Now this little example here has the weekends coloured dark blue. If I put today's date in this top yellow cell, in cell B2, using the key command control and semicolon, when I press enter, the weekends will move, reflected by the date changes. So Saturday and Sunday is still highlighted dark blue, all the rest are light blue. Conditional formatting. Do about 6 or 7 different examples of conditional formatting in the video so you can see different uses of it, but that is just one. Then we're going to move on to subtotals. Subtotals, first of all, you need to sort the list that you want to do the subtotals on. So subtotals is a feature that would allow you to analyze, for example in this case, how many Microsoft Office courses have your team done, or Equal Ops, or Leadership. Subtotals is on the Data tab, so click Data, Subtotals, and then I select the columns that I want to do the subtotals on, which is the course attended column. I must change it to count because it's I can't have it on sum. Click OK, and then it brings in the subtotals, which I can reduce down to show the subtotals, or again just the grand total. So subtotals, and along with subtotals we'll be looking at Countif. So the Countif function is great for counting occurrences of text. So in this case, every time it sees late along this row, which is called John Smith, I've used name ranges there, it's going to count it. So this one is called Paul Grant. If I add a few there, it's going to count 3 for Paul Grant. I can also do it here for passes and fails. So I've called this blue area status. If I change any of these, it just changes to reflect that change. So that's Countif. Then we're going to spend the next portion of the course looking at pivot tables. So this is an end product of a pivot table. This part here is the pivot table. These are just slices where I can click on these and do what's really filter the information. So I've clicked on 2017 first quarter. I can click that off and that off. I can click on Ann Pearson, so it will show me Ann Pearson sales. Click on January for Ann Pearson, take that off, and so on. Then I have a timeline underneath where I can click on a particular month and it will show me the sales for everywhere and everybody for that period, whatever I set. And then as you can see, as I'm changing these things, the graph is changing underneath to reflect that. And again, you must click that off to remove the filter, put it back to normal. Then we're going to look at a couple of advanced chart features. This one is using the SUMIF function to basically always show 6 months back from this triggered cell. So the trigger cell there is May 19. If I put December 18 in there and I press enter, the SUMIF part of this example will return the previous 6 months from that trigger cell. The graph is just looking at this data. It's a normal column graph. But here's the formula, a SUMIF function, and there's another formula where it's using the date year and month functions to drop off the trigger from the trigger date by 1 month. So all these features are covered on the module about charts. After that, we're going to look at a basic if. So in this example, I've named this list of figures sales. This list is called bonus. Basically, the if statement is looking at the sales figures and says if sales is greater than 21,000, if that's true, look at sales and get 10% of it. If it's false, 0, nothing. So at the moment it's nothing because it's equal to 21,000, but if I put that to 22,000 when I press enter, it will be true. So it is now looking at sales 22,000 and returning 10% of it. Where it says well done is a text example of an if statement. So basically it says there, if bonus equals 0, which is this cell, if that's true, more effort needed, and you need to put quotes on that because it's text. If it's false, well done. So it's false, these top two are false, so it says well done. These next two are true, so it says more effort needed. Next sheet is a basic Vlookup. The module will also look at H-lookups, but this is how it works. If I select a code from this drop-down list, it returns whatever that code is. So in this case, ABI is covers and then the price. So the Vlookup is looking at the input code, which is this yellow cell. It's looking at the product code table, which is this table below. And the number 2 represents the second column of that table, in this case description. And if I click on the price or the cost, that's the same, exactly the same, because I'm using names and name ranges. But this time it's looking at column 3. So this is just a quick example of what's covered on the Vlookup part of the intermediate course, and overall what is covered on the intermediate course. Thank you for your time.